Good day, folks, and welcome to Progress Coaching. So today I just want to introduce the coaching specialisms that I'm looking to specialize in when it comes to progress coaching, and there are four key areas. So one is talent management coaching, two is leadership coaching, the third one is executive career coaching, and then we have recruiter coaching as well as the fourth key area. So let's take them all in their own merit. So the first one is talent management coaching. So if you're any hiring company, whether you be a startup, an SME, a multinational, whatever the case may be, and you're looking to secure the best talent into your organization. So how do you currently go about that? How are your job specifications structured? What's your external comms and your marketing material like right now? Are you getting that hook or that unique selling point of your role and the opportunities within your organization? Is that coming through in the material that the market can see? So if a potential job seeker is looking at your job spec, can they really get a sense of what it's like to work at your organization? Do they get a sense of, the promotional opportunities, the career values, the company values, and so on coming through? We come in and we assess all of that. We look at areas that we can tweak, ultimately to secure the best CVs coming through into your inbox, essentially. So, some companies are really, really good at it. Others, need that small little bit of tweaking, and so on, and may well just need an objective eye coming in from the point of view of coaching advice, essentially, in terms of attracting talent. And then we also have the talent retention piece, which sits under the talent management coaching. So talent retention could be very applicable for a company who's going through a lot of change at any point in time, transition, scaling up, downsizing, and whatnot. You're a company owner, and there's a part of your brain thinking, okay, how am I going to secure my existing people infrastructure, my existing talent base? So we like to call this phase the future proofing of your people infrastructure. So we come in, we look to see, what you're doing currently for your for your company employees, opportunities that you're putting in front of them, what it's like to work for the leadership team within your organization, and so on and so forth as well. So that's talent management. Tied in very, very closely to talent management is leadership coaching. And it's really, really important that the leader is aware of the part that they play when it comes to attracting and retaining talent. Because let's take the attraction piece first of all. So when somebody comes to your organization and applies into a role, then the first round interview, the first port of call, or the first connection that they have with your company in many ways can be the hiring manager or that leader. So how that leader approaches the recruitment process is a really, really big consideration. I mean, is it just the box ticking exercise for yourself? Do you gather the CV from your desk 5 minutes before the interview and come in and do the interview just to get it over with, and so on? Some leaders are fantastic at really engaging the candidate experience and bringing a really great candidate experience to the interview. Others not so good. And if your mindset is in a box ticking, essentially a way of thinking, then that's not going to set you up for success when it comes to hiring the best talent. And also the candidate who's sitting across the table from you is going to sense that. So it's come 180 degrees nowadays, whereby the candidate is also interviewing you. They're asking you questions like, why should I join your organization? What's the selling point with the role? Where am I going to be in 2 years' time? What healthcare do you provide for my family? Do you offer remote, flexible working, and so on and so forth? So these are all things that you need to carefully consider before entering into the interview room to essentially secure that person into your organization. So bring that passion and that energy as a candidate would into an interview. So as a hiring manager, you really, really need to do that. Also the talent retention piece, leadership play a key role there, of course. So we do some coaching in terms of pointing out, giving you feedback, external objective feedback, acting as your accountability partner outside of the organization, because a lot of leaders are not comfortable asking for feedback from colleagues or peers or so on, so maybe more comfortable talking to an external coach or so on, and that's where we come in. We sit down, through the coaching sessions. It's a coactive coaching approach, so there's mutual trust and confidentiality and so on. And we assess your performance, not from a judgmental point of view, but just to point out areas of blind spots potentially, just to make you that, more empowering, effective leader for your team. Because it's been proven, really that I suppose, if you're a more of an effective leader, you have a more empowering, more efficient team working under you. They want to work for you, they buy into what you're saying and doing. And that has a hugely positive impact when it comes to financial revenue and bottom line for organizations as well. Sometimes I suppose, research has shown that the alpha female or the alpha male, they sometimes find it difficult to hold their hand up and say, okay, I need feedback on my performance and so on, because it can be seen as a sign of weakness. So we help you to build that muscle around, your vulnerabilities and embracing those to make you a more rounded, more highly performing leader essentially. And then, highly performing teams work under, inevitably, work under that leader, and it's a win-win for everybody. So that's the leadership coaching piece. So a subject very, very close to my heart is recruiter coaching. So I've worked with a lot of great recruiters over the years. Some recruiters, their process could be a little bit better at times, just in terms of how they, manage candidates, how they screen candidates, how they influence the hiring manager on the other side, managing right through to offer stage, and then, preparing for, scenarios that might come along, like challenges with offers, like counter offers from existing employers and so on. So it's really about how we engage with the client on one side, get a little bit better at that, improve our process right through, and giving a great candidate experience as well. So that can work really, really well for agency recruiters, building pipeline, and obviously making more money and more commission, which is a really important part, obviously, of an agency recruiter's life. And then the internal talent acquisition. So, how are you influencing your hiring managers to get quick feedback? You've a really, really good candidate who's just applied in for a role, but the hiring manager is slow to give feedback and so on. So we're helping you we're coaching you to build that skill set, to make you a little bit more comfortable in terms of, pushing back sometimes when, for a business need, I suppose, as such, or for the betterment of the overall business organization, we need that quick feedback, really, really drive that candidate experience and get the momentum into the hiring process. So we work with internal talent acquisition as well when it comes to recruiter coaching and recruitment coaching. And the final part is an area that's changing and has changed so much in recent years, and that's career coaching for professionals. So I recently completed a career coaching diploma, and I can see there's a real science around the whole area of career coaching nowadays. So it's gone from, your CV to interview preparation to your brand, what your message is like to market, how accessible your brand is, where it's connected, how visible is your brand. Because there's a very different dynamic from the point of view of dealing with one client who may be in a role and needs to be quite subtle or under the radar when it comes to how they approach the job application process, and then somebody who's not in a role, so they can be a little bit more brash or conspicuous in terms of how they present their image or their brand to the market. They can be up on the various job boards and so on. So we work at everything from tailoring your pitch, your search, your CV, right through to influencing clients to secure maybe a better salary, a better job offer and so on. Or maybe just negotiating with recruiters or recruitment consultants, really owning that and controlling that piece. And that works equally on the recruitment coaching side as well. But for the career coaching, it's about securing the best opportunity that's available for you. We also do a lot of role playing. In 10 years of recruitment myself, I've seen, from an interview point of view, a lot of really good candidates just not setting themselves up for success when it comes to interview, not really driving a really good performance at interview stage, and it undermines their process and they don't get the job at the end of the day when it comes down to it. So that can be, disappointing and a little bit deflating. So we do a lot of, shall we say, role playing for interviews. I assume the role of client hiring manager and point out any little blind spots or gaps in your process to make sure you really nail that interview and have a really strong positive impact when you're sitting in front of the hiring manager, which set you up for success and you get that job that you've always wanted as well. So there's 4 key areas under the umbrella of Progress Coaching. My name is Killian. So it's talent management coaching, leadership coaching, career coaching for professionals, and the final part is recruiter coaching for recruitment teams and also internal talent acquisition professionals as well. So I'm really, really excited about bringing this coaching offering to the market. It's a fresh approach. There's a lot of recent studies and recent programs and studies of work that I've done myself that I'm looking to build into it, plus my over 10 years experience within recruitment and coaching as well. So I'd be delighted to hear from you if you feel in any way curious about what I've just said. It could be for the betterment of yourself, your team, or your organisation, or whatever. It may not be today, but it might be something down the line or whatever. So I'd be delighted to have a cup of coffee or have a conversation with you just to make sure, you know, we're not missing out on any kind of value add that I could add to your organisation or to your own performance. So it's progresscoaching.ie, it's Killian at progresscoaching.ie, and across the various social platforms on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Killian Coach. So listen, folks, have a great 2020. Hoping you all have a very, very successful year, and feel free to reach out at any point in time. Thanks for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.